Hold on here, Fonz. All right, we're going live, dude. Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to Basement Radio Arcade Podcast. We are live and got a special guest who is making his return to Brap. It's been, wow, it's been a long time, man. I feel like it's been a year um, since we've had you on, I think, right?
Yeah,
Um,
it's been a while, man.
yeah, but without further ado, we got Jay Fonzarelli on. What's going on, man? Thank you for coming to hang out with us for a little bit, man. Definitely appreciate it.
It's my pleasure, especially I got the invite from somebody who it was one of my co-hosts on the Loot Chest Radio when we did that back in the day. That was so much fun.
Oh my God, man! To talk about good times, man. That was great, dude. You know what's cool? We actually had some. Did we get some industry guests on? I feel like, or we
Well, we
had
had Shinobi. We
we
had
had
Shinobi
Shinobi
on.
on. Yeah,
Yeah. And we I think we could have had more had we kept moving with that, but a lot of things transpired and the show had to go. And I miss it, man. I do miss it sometimes.
yeah.
It was fun.
Me too, man. It was good times, Fonz. It was a great show. I love the production values. Remember the phone calls we used to get.
Oh yeah, yeah. We used to get some classic ones, man. People
Yeah,
calling
man.
in, and just like yeah, giving us some kind of like trolling phone calls, but they were fun, all in fun.
No, they were fun, man. But it's also great to see you back on RDX podcast as well, man. No, you've returned there, man, and enjoy the podcast. And I think it's great that you're back there too, man. So, but yeah, man, like I said, man, I'm just excited to have you back on, man, because it's been a
Wow.
minute.
That's right.
Yeah, so we have some great topics tonight, Jay Fonz, and we're waiting for the other BRAP panel members, but I do want to pick your brain here a little bit and talk about something that I've seen you tweet, and actually, this is kind of a surprise topic. We were talking about this before we went live, but um, kind of like fill us in. What's going on with Cyberpunk 2077? Like what's all the hoopla going on about this game where people feel like maybe they're not being represented, or maybe the game's catering to people with mental illness. Although I don't, I
Ugh.
totally don't agree with that idea. Um, yeah, man, like fill us in. Like what's going on with this game, man? Like it seems like there's been a little bit of a little cloud over this game. The last, I think since E3 really.
Yeah, so I've been following this game closely. I've been doing some videos on my channel about the game and stuff. And today or yesterday it might have been. CD Projekt Red have been saying for a while now. They've been saying that they want to include everybody in this game, and they don't want to make people feel left out. And they said at one time that you were going to be able to make a transgender character if you wanted to. Just do what you want, basically. Be what you want in the game. And I'm like, cool. I'm all for it being inclusive. If as long as everybody's being represented, who cares, right? And then they announced yesterday that they were going to just do away with the whole male female words, basically. Just the words male and female are not going to be there in the gender picking, screen. So instead of that, they're going to just have the words body type and voice type. And, they even say within the article that you can choose male, female, voice and body types or mix and match. And I'm like, okay, cool. But then I get these tweets at me saying, Fonz, is this true? Are they getting rid of the male and female characters? Or because certain people out there are saying that they're not being represented now as straight males, and I'm just like, oh, here we go with the fear mongering. This is a situation where they strictly say, I mean, they put the CD Projekt Red say it themselves that you can choose male, female, body and voice types or mix and match. So where is it you're not being represented? I mean, do you actually have to see your penis within game to actually, support it or be justified enough to play the game? I don't understand these people's arguments. To me, I've played plenty of games in my day that didn't even use male and female in the wording when you chose your gender, so to speak. There was games out there that just had body types.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just like, what is it about this whole situation that's got people so up in arms? Would it have been worse? In my opinion, it could have been worse had they had the option male, female, transgender, because they would have got the pushback just having that third option, and also some more pushback or backlash from those that feel like they're not being represented because transgender might not cover who they are, right? So, to avoid all of that, CD Projekt Red is like, let's just omit all of that and just put body type and voice type. So, it's weird.
I don't get the controversy. Frankly, like me, it's not even a big deal. It's like, does it negatively impact the game in any way? It's going to negatively impact my experience. No, you can still play as a man or a female. I don't see the big deal, man. I don't get. Fonz. I'm someone who didn't really believe too much in like outrage, like that. You hear people say fake outrage culture or outrage culture.
Yeah.
I was one. It's because I'm old, dude. Like I'm 42, man. So, you know, um, I never really believed in that until really recently now, man. When I'm seeing some of this stuff where people are upset, and I don't get it. I don't think it's a big deal, man. I really
Well,
don't.
I mean, and I made a post that basically said, look, those that are complaining about this, you're feeling as if you're being left out when it couldn't be more opposite from the truth. Everybody is being included now, including you, straight male out there that's upset about this. I don't get it here. Like it's like you said, it's kind of a non-issue to me. As
Hmm.
long as I, can play a great game, I really don't care what I'm playing as. To be honest, I mean, we've played games where wear a dog, wear a cat, or do you feel bad because you're not being represented
my
in those
humanity's
games?
not my humanity's not being represented because I got to play as an alien.
Yeah, I think this just comes down to people's ideologies and their political beliefs and stuff, and just a slippery slope there where I just don't feel like they should even get into that nonsense when it comes to video games. Like, just be happy, play the game for what it is. I'm sure Cyberpunk is going to be a phenomenal game. It's by one of the best, most inclusive. I know a lot of people hate that word. Developer out there. I mean, CD Projekt Red have just they made The Witcher 3, damn it, which is one of the best games I've ever played. My second
Yeah,
favorite game now because it's just so well written, so good, and I could see Cyberpunk being phenomenal, and this is just a non-issue, man. It's ridiculous. It's really crazy, man. And especially within a game like the Cyberpunk universe, where you can essentially be what you want anyway.
yeah,
In the board game, it was the same way. I mean, you can mix and match body parts. You're a cyborg essentially.
yeah,
So I mean, what's there to complain about? It's odd to me.
yeah. I'm gonna go to the live chat. Big shout out to everyone in the live chat, by the way. Go to Shirzad Khan City. Says why pander to the 0.01% of a population.
Is it pandering or is it just being inclusive to everyone?
I see. This
'Cause,
is yeah. Go
you
ahead,
know,
Fonz. Go ahead, man.
Because the thing is, at the end of the day, they're not pandering to one group of people and leaving you out. You're still included. So why are you upset that they're including somebody else?
That's it's funny. You just took the words out of my mouth. I was gonna say it's not really pandering when you're also included. And again, I don't understand this. Oh man, my issue with the gaming community now is that I feel like a lot of identity politics have kind of creeped into the gaming community, and it's really seeped its way. And you see it. You see it. I'm not going to name certain podcasters, but we were talking about one podcaster in particular. I don't want to give him free advertisement, but he's one of them. You know, and I just don't get it. Like it's like who cares? It's like they're not
Well,
pandering.
think about it this way. If they had made a game where they forced you to play as the main protagonist V,
Hmm.
and he was only male, okay, and that's the only option you had, just like
Hmm.
Geralt was in The Witcher 3,
Yeah.
you would have people out there possibly complaining, why can't I play as a female, right? Here's a game where they basically said, be what you want. I mean, and it's wide open, and you're complaining.
Yeah. You know what I think
That's
this is
that's
too, man?
really odd.
I think a lot of people just have too much fucking time on their hands, man. Like this because like
Yeah.
I would never like super analyze any of this stuff, right? It's because it's a non-issue for me. But like, hey, whatever. I'm here to play video games. I'm not here to debate, developers' motivation for why they included this or that, or they didn't do this, or if they're pandering to a certain group. I don't.
Yeah, and some of these people are the same people that will say, "I don't want to play as a female protagonist in a video game."
Yeah, I
And
don't.
here's okay, be a male if you want. It's so weird to me. Like I could understand if they totally said you can't be male, you can't be female, you can only be trans or something. Then even then, I personally wouldn't care. But I understand where others might say, "Oh, I don't believe in this or whatever, whatever." But this is not even going that route. This is saying, be what you want, do what you want, mix and match, be male, be female, be what you want. It really is silly, dude. It's silly.
Yeah, yeah, I don't get it, man. But yeah, interesting topic, man. It's again, it's not one that I've heard like rumblings about it. I know that, um, you know, that it's been discussed on the Twitters. I know you've talked about it, but I just yeah, I find it interesting. But again, I don't think it's a big deal, man. I think this is gonna be once this game releases. I mean, who's gonna remember any of this shit anyway, right?
Yeah, and
Um,
and when all comes down to it, all this PR, I mean, everything that's happening, even all this negative stuff that people are talking about,
yeah,
they're still talking about the game. So this is only going to benefit the game. The game is going to sell even more because people keep talking about some silly stuff like this.
yeah, yeah. No, I hear you, man. I hear you. Um, well, Jay, I do want to go to our first topic of the evening, and I'm sure you've seen it, man. There's rumors going around that Sony's looking to buy Remedy. I think there was an article. I can't remember off the top of my head. A website tweeted out. One of the gaming sites tweeted out that Sony has inquired into buying Remedy Entertainment, and I this and even before this article, I think people have been speculating for quite some time that Remedy could be the next acquisition for Sony. And look, if this is true, and look, I've been out there saying it's going to happen. Look, guys, I'm just trolling. I don't have any inside information per se, or maybe I do, Fonz. Maybe I do have some inside information. I don't know. um, but dude, I mean, if this went down, I mean, this would be a pretty big acquisition for Sony. And if the rumors are true, I will say this: I did have one guy tweet me, quote unquote industry insider, tweet me and say what people are saying is true. And he's been right about some things and he's been wrong about others. So I kind of take that with a grain of salt. But if you've played Control, have you played Control, Fonz? I don't know if you picked it up.
No.
Okay, so if you play, so a lot of this started too. Let's go back here. A lot of this started too with I believe that Guerrilla Games tweeted out some kind of gift package that Remedy sent them with a note. And if you zoom in, that somebody zoomed in on that note, and it basically says, "Hey guys, thanks for helping us out with the game." And so that tipped the hat off to anyone reading that Guerrilla was involved in helping Remedy with the development of this game, right?
Yeah.
So obviously that's going to fuel the rumor mill anytime.
Well, I think anytime you have a company working with Sony for an exclusive game,
Mm,
their developers seem to be very helpful, right? It seems like they help each other out. And I think that might be the case here because from what I've heard is that Remedy themselves is a publicly traded company. It's not really owned by one entity. So to buy them would be, I don't know, they'd have to buy like more shares within the company. You get what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
to
exactly.
own
They'd
it.
have to buy out. They'd have to be a major stakeholder,
Yeah,
buy all the
yeah,
shares.
and they could do that. Obviously, Sony can do that, but and I could see this going down. But personally, for me, do I really care? Not so much. I mean, it's good for Sony, but here's the funny thing about this whole situation. I've been watching this go down since Control was announced. And of course, we're in a community where there's a lot of back and forth and a lot of fanboy nonsense that goes on. But isn't it funny that even journalists have got involved in this to where uh, as soon as Control, was getting closer to release, I started seeing articles by journalists who once slammed Quantum Break, now praise Quantum Break. And I'm sitting there going, wow, really? So now we're going to talk up Remedy because they have an exclusive for Sony. They're no longer, they're no longer, Quantum Break being that exclusive to Xbox.
Yeah.
You're going to praise that game now, and you once slammed it. It's the same thing that fanboys do in the community. Like
Hmm.
they talk about that game so bad, but once they have control, they're like, "Well, Quantum Break wasn't that bad." You know, yourself, why you slammed this? You guys said it was trash. And
Yeah.
personally, I didn't care for Quantum Break. That's why I didn't pick up Control. It
Yeah.
reminded me too much of that, and I didn't like Quantum Break. I couldn't finish it, man. It was boring to me. So, um, it's just funny to me how this is all playing out. Like, I'm not a big fan of Remedy games. Like, I did like Max Payne, but after that, I didn't like much from them. So, it's not huge for me personally, but it's a huge acquisition for Sony for its fans, because they can only get better from there. Sony, like I said, they help each other out and stuff. Look what they did for Insomniac with Spider-Man, right? So
Hmm.
I don't know. I think this is still it's a big acquisition for them if they do this, and I think you're right. It's probably going to happen. Um, but it's just funny to see like the total 180s that people are doing about Quantum Break and about Remedy themselves. They were once trash because they made a game for Xbox, only for Xbox, but now they're okay or they're great. It's funny to me.
Yeah. Quantum Break definitely got. I it was probably my least favorite Remedy game. And I could see the similarities to Quantum Break and Control. How some people would say, hey, because you remember when Control was, we first saw footage of that game, everyone's like, oh my god, like this is what Quantum Break should have been. But they are kind of different games in the sense that dealing with different topics. Control deals with more of the supernatural, paranormal universe. You know, I will say this, man, and having played, I played about 2 hours of Control. Um, in true Remedy fashion, the character movements are very janky, and I feel like
Yes. Oh, you know what? And here's the funny thing. I've watched some gameplay that was already put out there, like 13 minutes or whatever that was initially put out. I watched that. I was bored to tears. I watched your stream. I actually watched all of what you did. And I thought to myself, this still looks boring to me. And this is not like to say that, oh, the game sucks or whatever. This is just my opinion. I look at this game and I look at Remedy's storytelling outside of Max Payne. Max Payne was phenomenal storytelling for me anyway, back in the day. But this game, it reminds me a lot of Quantum Break in its storytelling. It just looks slow paced and just it's not for me. Like it I don't know. And you're right about the jank, like the movements, the animations are just weird.
yeah,
They're just like they're just like last gen. That's what they look like.
yeah, it's like and that's it's like a staple of like all Remedy games. That jank is just terrible with the character movements. Like I'm like, why is this? I feel like I'm playing Max Payne, on the
Yeah.
PlayStation 2
Yeah.
with all the jank, and it's just I wonder if like that's like they feel like okay, this is our calling card. this is what we're known for. Um,
Yeah. And
but
that's sad because the game is a pretty looking game. It's just when you see it in motion, you're like, what? I mean, we're at a point now where you look at something like even the Red Dead 2 animations
mhm,
are just amazing. And then going further, you look at The Last of Us 2 animations and you're like blown
yeah,
away. And here we have Remedy come out with a game that's like, brand new. And it looks like you said, Max Payne animations. It's like,
yeah,
what's going on here? It's got a nice shiny coat of paint over it. It's just the animations are the same. And it just tells me a lot about the growth of the company or the lack thereof. And I've heard later on, as you play more, that the frame rates and everything tank bad.
yeah. I picked it up for the PlayStation 4 Pro because of the
Oh, it's even worse.
yeah. Well, so Sony's got the they had the marketing deal with
Yeah.
for this game, so I picked up the PS4 Pro version to get the extra content that came with it. But yeah, I did hear that. I read the Digital Foundry comparison, and I feel bad for Slow Mo Backslap. He picked it up. He's got vanilla PS4, and he's like, oh my god, he got it digital, and now he's like, oh, I should have got it for the Xbox One X. Um, and so he's kind of stuck with it. He can't. I don't think Sony's going to give him a refund on it. Um, but it's interesting. There, you talked about them being publicly traded. Um, I think if Sony was to come in and pick them up,
Mm.
One, that's super aggressive by Sony to do that. Two, that already bolsters a strong lineup of first party studios that they have,
Mm.
and hey, what's up, Forte?
I gotta point out something.
Yep.
Craig, the tech guy, he says disagree.
What
Quantum
up?
Break was dubbed the Uncharted killer, and it didn't match its bite. This is Quantum Break's successor, spiritual. Now, here's the thing, though. Who dubbed it the Uncharted killer? Because the journalists surely did not. The journalists, I mean, they laid into this game when it came out. It got poor scores because of that, in a lot of journalist reviews, and they slammed it for being a technical mess. And yeah, so and Control, but it looks like it's another, like it might be a successor to it. It might be a little bit better, but it's still kind of a technical mess, man. I've seen some of the jank and the frame rate issues that
Frame
it
rate
has.
issues,
It's
yeah.
pretty bad.
Yeah, and it's interesting because it doesn't seem like a game that would be very taxing on hardware. So I don't get that. And then the issue. Well, I didn't look. I don't think Quantum Break was a terrible game. It wasn't Remedy's best game in my opinion. Um,
Yeah.
but
Is but here's the thing: is it a successor to Quantum Break? Yes, but does that make it much better? No, not really. I mean, if you polish a turd, it's still a turd, in my opinion.
oh my god. So you were not a fan. You're definitely not a fan of this game.
No, I'm just,
For-
I'm really not a fan of Remedy games. I don't like, again, I don't think their storytelling is very good, and I think their animations are last gen, and I don't like the feel of the game. Quantum Break, that's what turned me off the most, is the fact that not only did it bore me, but it just felt bad. The animations are just horrible.
Yeah, I agree with you on the animations, the jank. I disagree with you though on the storytelling because the story. And by the way, the Metascore for Quantum Break 77. Um, and so I disagree with you, Fonz, on the story because I this to me is a very interesting story. The voice
Oh, it
acting
may
is
be.
great. The script is great, and it's dude. You know what? I'm telling you, when I first turned this game on, I don't know if you saw the stream with the I guess the people kind of floating in the air. I'm like, yo,
Yeah.
I said to myself, I said, this is the appetizer before Death Stranding.
Oh gosh, don't even get me started on that
Oh
so
my
far.
goodness.
But yeah, it's one of those things where hey, we've got it might be a spiritual successor to Quantum Break, but it doesn't mean it's a fantastic game.
Yeah.
I mean, and when I say that their storytelling is boring and stuff, that's just for me personally. I'm not saying that you guys should believe the same. Come on, let's
No,
be
I
real.
know I get it. It's just yeah, you're not a fan of Remedy game, and that's fine. I mean, like that's no, I don't think anyone's gonna fault you for your taste
Yeah.
in gaming
Oh,
and what Fonz likes.
Craig says the Grounded Gamer, the Xbox community dubbed it the Uncharted killer. Well, that's the problem right there. You listen to the Xbox community, and
I've
that's
never
the
even
thing.
heard that before, man. That they
Fanboy,
even
but it's the fanboy narratives, and I don't listen to that mess. So to me, it was never dubbed or officially dubbed the Uncharted killer. I don't listen to that fanboy nonsense. But at the end of the day, it's like I said, good for Sony if they do get Remedy. And I think you said that Forte is here. Forte, what's up,
yeah,
man?
Forte, what's going on, man? Oh, he was here. I don't know what happened to him. He's at the GameStop conference right now.
Ah, okay.
So I don't know what happened. Hopefully he comes back. But if this indeed is true, Fonz, let me
Hmm.
ask you something. Would this be a bigger acquisition than Insomniac?
No, no. What gets bigger than Spider-Man, right? Spider-Man is just, I mean, it's a juggernaut when it comes to just marketability. I mean, the character himself, right? And then you, on top of that, you have a great game in Spider-Man. Um, even though I think those Mary Jane missions were horrible, but
Oh my
the
God, that
Spider-Man game itself was really
low
good, like
point of the
solid.
game, man.
But yeah, I mean, how can you not? There's no way Remedy games, any Remedy game, cannot stack up to Spider-Man PS4. That's impossible.
Yeah, I mean that's it's and Insomniac's got and not that Remedy hasn't put out good games. I mean, again, to me, Control is probably Remedy's best game. Dare I say ever? I mean,
Mhm.
and look, Max Payne, Alan Wake, the more notable ones. I gotta say, so what I've played of Control so far is probably right up there with with the Max Payne's probably my favorite out of all the Remedy games, but I think this is right up there. There's definitely some elements of Max Payne
Hmm.
in Control. Like I definitely see that in playing this game.
Yeah,
And Fonz, I love Max Payne, man. To me, Max Payne One was just
Max Payne was awesome.
yeah,
I liked Max Payne 1, 2, and 3. I played them all.
yeah. I
Um,
mean,
but of course, Rockstar took over at a certain point. I think after the first one, and then the rest is history. But I will say, I have to say that if Control made it to Game Pass, I would definitely give it a try.
oh, dude, if it goes to Game Pass, man, it is you have to play this game. I mean, it's
And of course,
yeah,
that could be a long time from now. But if it does, I mean, I'll give it a try. That's what I did with Hellblade. I didn't really want to play Hellblade, but I gave it a shot when it hit Game Pass.
yeah. Chief told me in his live chat says shaking my head. It's all about resistance. Talking about
Resist-
regarding Insomniac.
yeah, Resistance was a great see, and that's the thing, man. You had a lot of great games with Insomniac, Ratchet and Clank. You got
Yeah,
got Resistance. You got uh, Song of the Deep, or you got a bunch of games
Sunset
there
Overdrive. Yeah,
that. No, I didn't like Sunset Overdrive, but I'm just saying, like, there's a lot. They have a lot of established franchises that do very well. And yeah, Remedy is not as big, but it's like I said, big acquisition for Sony if they do pick them up.
yeah. The other rumor is Ready at Dawn. So it's like there's two studio rumor acquisition rumors going around right now with Sony. And Ready at I think probably Ready at Dawn's probably the more likely of the two.
Hmm.
Given even Sony's relationship with Ready at Dawn and Ready at Dawn making exclusive content for
Yeah,
PlayStation. So, um, but this is going to get interesting. I mean, Sony's
Sony
obviously
playing ball, man. They're
yeah,
playing ball. And that's the thing. And what Microsoft has to do to play ball is just come out with some good games already. You know what I'm saying? That's what they need to do. Like stop with the studio acquisitions now. You've got the studios. Start making those games. I'm sure they have, but start showing us some of what you're making. Get us excited, man. Because next gen is almost here, man. It's crazy.
it's a
It's
year
crazy.
away. It's a year away. And I keep telling people like, and this isn't like again, I get so much shit from people when I say this, but um, you know, we're a year away. We have a good idea, a good roadmap of what Sony's going to put out, right? We know the quality of content they're going to put out, right? Um, and we don't know that just yet. Maybe to an extent, like with Playground and Ninja Theory, but we don't know exactly what kind of games they're working on yet. We don't know that. We know with Sony, you're going to get a God of War sequel. We know The Last of Us 2 is coming. I've heard that Ghost of Tsushima might be pushed to launch of the PlayStation 5 as a launch title. Um, you know that there's going to be a Horizon Zero Dawn 2. Guerrilla's apparently working on another new IP. Ready at Dawn, I think, is going to do a sequel for the Order 1886. There's Forte. Forte, what is going on, man?
What up, though?
What's
Dude,
up, man?
how is the GameStop conference, my friend?
Fun, man. Fun. Um, don't got that much time. We get ready to go out and go eat and stuff. Our last day here, but man, just left the expo. Got a bunch of free stuff. Awesome.
Dude, can I want to ask you a question. I know you're under
All right,
NDA, but
go ahead.
maybe you could say like this. You could share your feelings about a certain trailer you saw or
Oh no,
gameplay
no, we
footage.
ain't going down that road.
Can you say that you're excited? Can you at least say that?
very, very,
Can you say that?
very excited.
Can you say that this is going to be a must-have title,
Well, it
perhaps?
was already a must-have title. They just confirmed it with the little bit of what they shown got everybody excited.
Now, Forte, watching this new footage, and by the way, we're talking about The Last of Us 2.
Right.
Watching this new footage, were you thinking to yourself, "Holy moly, this game is just looks amazing. It's on another level." I mean, this is
Uh, Man, well, first I thought it was gonna be like, okay, they just gonna show us most of whatever they showed everybody
yeah,
else, and then at at the very end of this, when they kind of showed the little vertical slice, and I was like, Oh, okay, here we go. Something I've never seen before, and I was like, I was super excited. It was it was like everything. I think it's going to be like what everybody wanted from the original Uncharted, like where you felt like, in some parts, you felt like you were hopeless, and this one
Mhm.
scene made it even more apparent that you're in a lot of dangers when it comes to the enemies that are in the game. And it just really shows you how you can play off those enemies to actually make them attack each other. And
Wow.
the lighting, and I just think this thing is going to look so incredible in HDR. It's because what I saw was just incredible.
For what game?
Oh, this The Last of Us 2.
Oh, The Last of Us 2. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't even have to be sold on that game at all. I already know that's a day one.
Yeah, we all
Um,
know what that game represents.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it's the only game that could possibly go up against Cyberpunk 2077 for Game of the Year next year, in my opinion. So,
I would agree with that, Jay Fonz. I would agree with that. Forte. Now you guys also received the Death Stranding Collector's Edition, right?
Oh, how you know that?
Because you tweeted it.
Did I? Did
Yes.
I?
hmm.
I thought I put that in the DM.
Oh man. Oh,
Oh,
we're not. Did I break NDA?
No, you didn't. No,
Okay.
yeah, we got throat, baby. Yeah,
Yeah. Don't shake the baby. Baby doesn't like that.
no shake. I was wondering as soon as it happened. I remember the conversation we had on Brap a while ago. Like, if you do get this, where are you going to put it? Are you going to feel weird by inviting people in your room and saying, "Hey, look at this thing"? Like, are you
Yeah.
going to like keep it in a box? Are you ever going to take it out?
Yeah. That thing would creep my kids out. If I had the throat baby and I had it like on the TV, you know what I
The
could say? I could say, "Hey, throat baby's watching you.
the
You better
question
behave."
is, would you turn the light on the throw baby, or would you
oh
leave it
yeah,
dark?
of
Oh my
course.
God! Okay, you know how
Of
like
course.
like with like during the holidays they have what's that elf on the shelf? I would have
Oh yeah.
I would have throat baby on the shelf and be like, "Throat baby's watching you. You better behave." What's up,
That
slow
could
mo?
that could probably be considered child abuse if you did
Really? Like
something
like
like.
mental abuse, slow mo?
Yeah, I just came in the middle of that, but when you said put the throat baby on the shelf, I just pictured like your kids getting in trouble and you just put that thing on the shelf like throat baby's watching you. That would
Yeah,
like be really really creepy.
that
What's
actually
up,
might
guys?
freak my kids out. Yeah. What's up, man? Slow mo. You know Jay Fonz, I believe, right? You guys have met Forte. I think you guys
Oh,
have.
yeah. Believe
Yeah, the
What
grounded
Jay Far?
gamer. I
I've
haven't met
never.
him since he became the grounded gamer.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
haven't met the grounded gamer
Yeah, who's this
before.
grounded gamer guguy?
Um, it's somebody that got grounded by his parents because he was playing too
Oh,
many games. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, it's good to see you guys again, man.
yeah, man. It's always good to see you.
Yeah, that's not like father.
Um,
It's probably been like I swear like it's been like a year since
yeah.
we've had him on.
And
It's been a minute.
the good thing is, for you, Forte, anyway,
Uh
not
huh.
good for you, but if you're on ever, I'll be playing Destiny again. So I got that
Ooh.
whole thing. I got my characters all transferred to both consoles now, so I'm no longer playing two different sets of characters.
I
Thank God.
know.
It's so good, man.
Which
Like I'm
character? Which console did you pick to make your main though?
my highest ranked characters, which were on Xbox, so
Oh, nice.
I just used them. So that way now that I'm on PlayStation, which is kind of weird. The one thing I don't like about it is the fact that you have to run around with your Xbox. If you use your Xbox anyway, you have to use
That
that
clan.
clan.
Yep.
And I don't get anything on PlayStation for that. So that kind of
Yeah, because it's not enough people.
yeah.
There's
yeah.
not enough people that moved over in the clan to be on PlayStation.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it sees. Yeah, I get you on it because that's the same
But
way it
aside
is
from
for me.
that,
Hey
bro,
guys, real
aside
quick,
from that, I
got
have
to
to just play with everybody, you know.
yeah, guys, real quick, got to pay the bills here. Chief Tomei with the awesome $2 super chat. Thank you, sir. Says, is that Aladdin and Lion King leak legit? I don't know what he's talking about.
It is. He talking about the one for this. It's coming out on PlayStation, Xbox, and Switch. It's a double. It's a dual pack cassette or disc. It does have the original Lion King and the original Aladdin remade. soundtracks, voiceovers, everything completely redone, and it is coming out later this year.
Is that the Aladdin that was on Sega Genesis and Super
Sure
Nintendo?
is.
Oh,
Sure
that was
is.
a good one.
That was a great game.
That
I
actually
love
was a
that
pretty
game.
good game.
Yeah.
So was
Yeah.
Lion King. Lion King was decent too, man. It wasn't terrible.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
no.
was. It was
But
like when they
Aladdin
showed it. Yeah, when they showed it too, I was like, "Oh, this is real."
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hey,
but it is
Forte,
funny.
real quick question, man. What else can you talk? What can you talk about?
Wait a minute.
Ask a question. and then
First,
we
like,
can
what
see.
have you already exposed? Because I'm late.
I haven't
Oh,
exposed anything.
he hasn't exposed anything. We talked about The Last of Us 2. He's pretty much it's fire, but I think we all
It's
know
fire.
that.
Okay. So let's do it like this. We gonna ask questions. You just say yes or no.
Okay.
Crap. Now I don't have a question.
Yeah. All right. Last
Here's
of
a
Us.
question.
Okay, so I'll get some. So
Hold on, wait.
Tell us.
Jay Fonz has a
So,
question.
go ahead.
Okay, so was it announced at all that Sony bought Remedy? No.
No, not at all.
I don't know what they would show at one of those shows, to be honest.
You'd be surprised.
Really?
You'd be surprised.
So who was?
Put it
who
this
was
way:
there?
I saw
Who was
some.
there?
I saw a trailer for the new season for not Titanfall, for Apex and stuff. They showed us the new characters and everything that they haven't announced yet. They show like little vertical slices. We saw stuff for Borderlands that never been seen in the public before, which was amazing.
What?
Yeah.
Hey, was Randy Pitchford there by any chance? Uh-oh.
Oh, they got him.
They got him. He's like, I heard someone say, "Hey, you're breaking NDA in the background."
Yeah. So
Oh, he
trying
got
to go eat.
you got in trouble, huh?
So
No.
let's see. You said they showed stuff on Borderlands 3 that's never been seen before, and it was awesome, right?
Yeah.
What?
Okay. Did it have anything to do with the additional characters that come? Because with Borderlands, they always start with 4 Vault Hunters, and then they add 2 more. Was it?
No.
It wasn't the 2 extras.
No.
Okay, we got Forte on borrowed time here. He's got to go out and eat. Forte, I got to ask you one more question. What got you the most excited? Like, what's the one thing
Say
you
again?
saw? What's the one thing you saw that got you the most excited?
Oh man. The deeper dive they did into Star Wars. I think Star Wars is going to be phenomenal.
Nice.
We didn't get a chance to play it, but getting more of a deeper dive, because when they came out to show Apex, they showed a lot more Star Wars, and just seeing what they're doing with that game got goosebumps going up and down my arm. I was floored by the stuff we saw.
Wow,
That's good to hear. I've been really interested in Fallen Order.
Me too, man.
yeah.
So
By the way, did Microsoft already do their thing?
Yeah, they did.
And what did they show?
They show extended parts of campaign that we can't
Really?
talk about. Yeah.
Okay.
so what they
Did you
show?
actually
What they show,
see like combat?
Yes.
Wait, so you saw Gears 5 combat,
Yes.
and okay,
So
go ahead, Slomo. Go ahead. Like, we're both chopping at the bit here.
All right.
Go ahead, Slomo.
All right, so I got a good question. Hopefully, you can get around this. But are the hub worlds that you explore kind of like God of War in a way?
Didn't show them.
Okay.
Okay.
Didn't show that.
Did you see anything new with the Gears combat that we haven't done before?
No, just more. They just showed more of what you're doing, and they kind of gave you more of a structure of what it's mostly about.
Okay, so it's still like the roadie run, the
Yep,
taking
still-
in cover, shooting from cover stuff.
Yep, still the same.
Oh man, that's kind of disappointing. But okay.
But you never know. They might be holding stuff to the vest.
Mm.
They really focus. They
Well-
show even more than what they showed at Gamescom.
Well, see, I'm more of a campaign guy, so when they showed
Yeah.
more campaign visually,
yeah, they showed more campaign. They did
is
show
it
more
really nice
campaign.
visually.
Oh, dude, it's like looking through a glass.
Nice.
Wow. So the campaign.
And that was on a,
fire.
and that was on a 150-inch screen and looking through a glass. I was like, wow, this looks good.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So do you feel like the Gears 5 campaign is going to be very solid?
I think it could be better than 4. I think it will be better than 4. Now it just comes down to the execution and then the staying power. They said the game is anywhere from depending on the difficulty you play at, it could be anywhere from like 15 to 25 hours, depending on how you play through it.
Gears 5 campaign is going to be 15 to 25 hours, depending on difficulty.
Yep.
Wow.
I could.
I got a question for you, Jack. In the campaign, what is combat with Jack like? Like, what does that even look like?
Didn't show. They only showed the combat in We go, man. All right. Yeah, they only showed combat in the Horde. They didn't show anything in campaign with them.
Okay.
But I'm kind of thinking that it's probably more the same that it is in Horde. I mean, that's just educational guess that you can do certain things like take over enemies and stuff as Jack, like you do in the, as you do in the Horde mode.
Yeah, I mean, I just imagine combat with Jack is going to be different than it is with the other characters because I mean, everyone knows what he is. Like he turns invisible. He's like hovering in the air. Like he doesn't take cover like everyone else. So, like, how does this work? I've been curious about that ever since I heard that Jack was a third playable character in the campaign. I was just like, huh?
Yeah, I think I think they want people to wonder what his gameplay is going to be like, but I just think with him being the way that he is in Horde, they're just kind of just going to copy and paste that type of gameplay into the campaign. I mean, I don't know because they didn't. That's the one thing they didn't show. They didn't show off the co-op aspect of it. It was pretty much just giving people a little bit more of what the story of Gears of War is. I will tell you this: I am a little bit more excited for Death Stranding because they kind of gave a little bit more of an insight into what the story's about.
Wow.
Like it's still murky on it, but I have a better understanding what it's about.
Do you feel like Kojima is onto something here, or is he just calling full on Kojima? Is he
No, I just think honestly, I just think it's what he always wanted to do in a game that he never really could do under Metal Gear because Metal Gear has such a it's kind of I mean it has its spiritual elements to it and stuff, but it's more grounded where with a new IP, something like this, you can kind of just go in with a blank slate and still have that type of gameplay that everybody's used to seeing, but anything and everything is pretty much on the table when it comes to how far he's willing to push like the outside forces of what the game is. So I think it's more of a game like once you just open your eyes to the situation, it's going to end up being probably an amazing game. And I just think people just don't understand what the game is, and that's what people are very trepidatious about. But after seeing a little bit more of it and a little bit more streamlined of just focusing on what the actual story's about, I think people are going to be a little bit more happier with it.
To me, it was kind of obvious what was going on at the end of Gears 4. I mean, what they were going to go into. I don't want to.
You're good.
Spoil it for anybody that's listening, but the ending of Gears 4 kind of pointed you to the direction that this was going to go, and I know where it's going to go. Like we all do that's played the game. And it's just to me that the bigger part was the whole fact that they were saying that this is going to be the biggest Gears ever, and that they're going to add more gaming elements to it. That is what I want to be more excited about, rather than story. I know the story is going to be decent because I know where it's headed. So I don't know. It's my thoughts.
Hey, Forte, do you need to go, man? Because I know you mentioned that you were going to go out and get some dinner, man.
I'll catch up.
Are you sure?
I'll catch up to him. It's like the place they're going to is right around the corner. So
okay, all right, man.
Okay, another question then. Since we got some extended time.
Slow-mo, you were chopping at the bit, man.
Oh yeah, man. I got like a list. Like I just
go ahead, man.
List.
It's like Slow-mo started writing down a list.
All right, I'll give you 5 more minutes. Let's go.
All right. So did you see Greedfall?
No, they didn't show it.
Oh man.
Slow-mo, did you see
you mean Forte?
I mean, I'm sorry. Why do I always get you guys confused?
Yeah, because it's my brother.
Yeah, exactly. Um, did you see anything Nintendo related, like
Yes.
Luigi's Mansion 3?
Amazing. Co-op is like, I saw a 4-player co-op demo of it, and I was like floored to how great that game looked like it's gonna be. Dude, that game looked fun by itself. I did get a chance to play the actual single player on the expo floor. It controls amazing. Some of the new moves and abilities, like you could slam the ghost and stuff on the ground to actually take their health down instead of using just a vacuum to suck them in and stuff. So you can actually just ground pound them with it and stuff. And then your teammates or your co-op buddies can come in there and help you do it. And just the co-op aspect of that game is going to be so amazing. And then the game modes they have where you can actually they have modes in the game where you can actually suck up. You have like so many ghosts you have to clear out of a room and stuff, or clear out of a house. It's called um, uh, room, like clean room or room cleanse or something like that. And you have a set amount of time to go through and clean as many rooms as possible with your teammates and stuff. I think that game's
you
going to
using
be
up a
asleep.
lot this 5 minutes on some Luigi Mansion
No,
that
it's
only
I love
Enrique
Luigi's
cares
Mansion,
about.
man. I love that
all
game.
Okay,
right,
so,
yes.
so what
Next
about
topic.
we got a question? We got a question from the chat here. They want to know about Halo. Anything on Halo?
No, they're not going to. They didn't show anything on Halo.
All right. Did you see Battletoads?
You were wasting
we saw it
time
in
here,
we just
Enrique.
saw it in the screenshot. That's about it. They just went through some of their games,
And that's
that
all
was
you need. And that's all you need to see about.
That's all you need for
Yeah,
Battletoads.
exactly.
Screenshot.
I could see less of that.
Right.
Hey, did you see
Oh, wait,
the
Slow-mo.
Avengers?
Yes, he played
I
it.
played the Avengers.
All right. Is it
Okay,
is the
okay,
gameplay
okay, hold on.
linear?
Yes.
Okay, so it's kind of hard to answer that question because we only played the first mission of the game after.
And that was going to be my second question. Did you get a chance to play more than that tutorial mission in the beginning?
No, that's pretty much all you got a chance to play.
Okay, so how did it feel?
Go ahead.
How did it feel?
Okay, so that's that's where my divide is with the game. I think the game feels amazing. I just don't think the power. You know how when you play something like Sacriel and you play something like Bloodborne, you feel like you have weight when you're hitting something. It feels like you actually hit this thing.
Yes.
Even when you're playing with the most powerful character or strongest character in the game, the Hulk, it just feels like you're just hitting a button. It doesn't feel like it has like weight behind whatever you're doing.
Really?
But overall, the gameplay is fun. It's really, really fun. When you're running around with all the different heroes, you feel like those heroes. I just and my feedback to them when I was talking to them is we need to get a little bit more weight behind what you're doing with these characters. Like if I ground pound somebody and pick somebody up with hope, I need to feel like I'm throwing this person up against the wall, or if I'm hitting somebody with a shield, I need to feel like that shield bash feels like I hit this person.
Okay, now is that like a lack of what do they call it? Synaptic feedback from the controller?
Yeah, like a response to it. Because you don't really, because there's no. I mean, I don't know if that's going to be in the final build because there is no rumble when you're hitting people, which is kind of crazy to me.
Yeah,
that might be what's missing.
There's also alpha too.
Yeah, so that's why I say I can't say that it's a horrible thing, but that was the one thing that stuck out to me. Like as I was playing it, I was like, "Yeah, this is so fun," but I just feel like I'm hitting things and it's not really doing anything. I see health bars disappearing, but it doesn't feel like I'm doing anything.
Was it a more QT? See, I saw some QTE with Black Widow, but
it's the QTEs are basically finishing moves and special moves you could do in the game. They have moves and combos that you could do off of people when you see certain icons above their head. And it's over stylized things like Iron Man pulls out his beam from his chest and Tony Stark can throw. He'll jump up in the air and he'll bombard 5 or 6 people if you get their health low enough. So you can do pretty much everything by just running through the game and just beating people up, beat 'em up style. But you have special cases where you can use their special abilities to take out large areas. Like Hulk has a 2 ground smash, one where he's on the ground and smashes both hands on the ground. Then he has one when he's in the air and does this Omega Slam, and it's pretty crazy. And in the game, looks amazing when it comes to certain characters, like the Hulk looks amazing.
All right.
Okay, I got a
Amazing.
good question for you. So
Yeah.
when you said that there's no weight behind some of the moves and stuff, is it
Yeah.
because there's no controller, maybe vibration feedback, or is it?
That's what I'm saying. That might just be because the vibration and the feedback for the controller isn't there. I don't know if
Yeah,
that's something that's just because it's an
Yeah.
alpha, but it's kind of hard to gauge if the weight is behind the
yeah,
character if you don't have Rumble to like tell you that you're doing something to a character. So that
yeah,
can
because
all be fixed with that. But
I
I
was playing because I was playing God of War at one time, and my controller kept dying. So what I did was turned off the rumble feature, the vibration in the controller, and I could not do it. It felt like crap. There
it
was
feels
no
like crap. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's what I was
that's why I asked him that earlier because I was wondering either if it was the lack of rumble, or let's say if you're the Hulk and you do like a ground pound, but then like only the immediate area around the Hulk shows any damage, like that would look like that's not the Hulk, like
Right.
he does
Yeah.
a ground pound, like the entire street should just be crumbling. So yeah, I was
The visual feedbacks there is just that feedback you get in your controller is like you don't feel like you did what the screen is saying you did. So
Yeah.
that's the other thing. But I played about 25, 30 minutes of it. It felt good. It was it was a really good feeling game when it came to the actual controls. I didn't have any problems with the controls. I think they might want to. It depends on the difficulty they had it set to. Don't know what that was, but certain characters are easier to play with than others. Like Iron Man is easy when you're in the air, but he's like crap when he's on the ground. And Cap is pretty much good anywhere on the ground. Hulk is good everywhere because he can jump in the air and do all types of crazy stuff. I think Thor had probably some of the best move sets because it kind of reminded me of God of War with the way you throw your hammer and bring it back, and you could stick people to walls and stuff with it, and knock them in the air. Like the combo potential kind of felt like God of War to me. He probably felt the most fluent to play with because I think they literally did look at that combat system in God of War and kind of copied as much of it as they could.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the same guy who
this
designed
designer,
the combat system for God of War is now working for Crystal Dynamics.
Yeah, and that's probably why his character of all the characters feels that way because it's kind of the same type of character.
Yeah.
Hey, guys,
it's the same dude.
I hate to say this, but I gotta go, guys.
Yeah, don't worry, Fonz.
Stuff, but it's been fun, man. It's great to see you guys again.
Yeah, you too, Fonz. Thank you, Gad, for coming on, man.
Anytime, bro, man. Anytime.
Yeah, the chat was awesome tonight. Good job, guys.
Yeah, definitely, man. Thank you, Fonz, man. Real quick. Oh, he's gone. All right.
More questions.
Yeah, I have a question from the live chat. Distracted by Life wants to know if you played Stadia.
Stadium line was way too freaking long. I was not standing in that line, and I only had 3 hours on the floor. Not doing it because it was like 150 people in line.
Wow.
But so take this with a grain of salt. But from everybody that played Stadia, said it was very, very responsive. The hub that they used for Stadia, and they were making sure they broadcast this. It was over 400 miles away. The hub that they were using to broadcast it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, granted, this city that we're in is kind of it's a Google Fiber city. So that might have a lot to play into it because Wi-Fi is very, very strong here because of that Google Fiber.
It has a lot to play in it because I guarantee you they made sure that the actual route from that 400-mile away data center
went through that fiber.
Yeah, went through that fiber. They like Google if they have that data center and then they run Google Fiber in that city. That means they can actually choose the routes they want, which is not going to be ideal for say like everywhere else we live because Google Fiber is not very
everywhere.
Common in the United States at all.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's why I say people said it felt really good. I was skeptical just because Google Fiber's here, but you never know. I mean, you have to try it for yourself to see it. But when I walked over and watched people playing it, it didn't look like people were having any input delays because you can definitely tell if people are fighting the controller when they're playing the game.
There's a question in the chat.
Cool.
There's a question in the chat for you. It says, Forte, does Xbox have an exclusive rated 90+ game that's not Forza?
Or Ori?
Or Ori?
Or Ori? Gears of War, I think, will hit that number.
Oh,
Ooh.
you got the kid
Yes.
smooth talk now. You think it's going to be a 90 game?
This is what I said. This is what I think. Gears of War has been a franchise, especially it's been a franchise that's been hovering around that 80 to 85 for so long. I think this
Higher
is the
than that,
one
man.
where
Like the first 3 were 90s.
well, the first 3 were in the 90s. I'm just talking about as of lately.
Okay.
I just think this is their last I'm not going to say their last chance, but this is their best chance because the first thing Rod Ferguson said when he came on stage here is Gears of War 4 was us trying to earn the trust of you, the fan, to say that we can make a Gears of War game, that we can do this as a coalition. Now that they got that out the way, now they're saying they're making a Gears of War game that is like breaking whatever rules we need to break to make this the game it needs to be for the fans. So I feel like if this game has to hit that 87, 88, 89 and higher mark for them to be successful, or at least in gamers' eyes to be successful, because Gears of War 4, people didn't care about it as much, but it still scored pretty high. It scored well.
I mean,
It was
like
just the
84.
reception around the game that people didn't like. I think with all the different game modes that they're adding, with the campaign looking like it can be a very meaty campaign, them going back into the essence of what the dark side of Dark Gears of War was when it came to Gears of War 1, 2, and 3. I think if they lean into that enough throughout the campaign and people really get asphyxiated with that story, the game could easily hit 9s. It just has to hit the campaign has to hit for people. That's all it has to do.
Forte, from what you saw, do you feel like based on what you saw recently that you could see this game being like in a 9, like Metacritic 9?
From
Or
what I
aggregate score
saw,
9, yeah.
yeah, I do. I do see it mostly because I'm more in like it kind of spoke to me like when they were at E3 and they did the whole psychosis thing with her on the stage and seeing all the different sides of Kate and stuff. The stuff we saw in the campaign kind of like leans into that a little bit more, and it lets me know that they are really going they're going really deep into like the psyche of what she is, and they're going to build her out to be whatever they want her to be. And depending on how they actually do that is going to determine how people like this game. Like, I love how Hellblade did it because it was like this very different way of them to like portray someone and you being inside their head. I don't know what they're going to really do with her, but I am more intrigued now than I ever been just because of the direction and the chances it seems like they're trying to take with just the campaign in general, because they know Gears of War is a hub. They have to hit this campaign in order for people to feel like the game is a success. Horde mode, escape mode, and multiplayer can't hold it by itself anymore. Multiplayer is good, but people want to play that campaign, and the campaign needs to shine. And I think that's why they focused and kept so much of it under wraps until they were ready to show it fully.
Okay. All right. B Money, what's going on, man?
What's happening, fellas?
What's up, B?
Not much, man. What's going on?
So B,
B, I'll give you a question. Ask a question you want to ask before I leave, because they already asked questions.
I have more though.
no,
I know you do.
Let B ask a question, B. Go ahead, man. The floor is yours, sir.
And a question in regards to what?
Anything.
Anything at the
thing.
GameStop thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I guess in regards to The Last of Us, whatever they showed, were you impressed by what was shown for The Last of Us 2?
The little bit that they shown, I was impressed. I already knew the game was going to be fire, but I just think they're throwing everything. I think they're leaning in 100% into what part 2 was about, but they're going darker with it. They're going even darker than what most people thought Last of Us 1 was. And I think that's a great idea. And they're really going to show it seems like they're really going after the human element, but they're going to show you what it is like to be in the shoes of Ellie in this game, because it's pretty much all about her from what we've seen so far.
Right.
Yeah. Hey, Gregor Von Doom wants to know, if you're not ready to show the game till launch day, doesn't that mean they're crunching?
Well, no, he said they're crunching. He said that's what they're finishing out. The game already went gold. So, but the thing is, he has a very secret plan on how he wanted to roll that game out. He wanted to get all of the theatrics out the way when it came to Rod Ferguson about Gears of War. He knows people already know what the horde mode is. He already knows people are going to be excited for multiplayer. The campaign, they want to use that as the biggest marketing tool push for the game over the next couple of weeks. That's why you're starting to see more and more stuff about that campaign come out ever since Gamescom, because they know that's the bread and butter of the game.
Mhm.
Everybody else is just waiting for that part to fall on its face and, pretty much just demonstrate why people should buy this game. Plus, Game Pass is, as much as we want to say it's in Game Pass, it is in Game Pass. People are going to try this game regardless. And some of the stuff that they show and don't show is based off of that, because they want people to be excited when they play the game. And when they get a chance to say, man, that campaign was amazing, more people will go out and subscribe to Game Pass. It's not like you just bought a game. You're buying a subscription service that gives you access to a bunch of games. And then if you get stuck into Gears of War and then you start playing that campaign for however much it is for you to do it a month, they're looking at it like, hey, we can get this person probably to do Gears of War for this month. He might continue to keep playing Gears of War because he wants to play that horde mode, or he'll buy it from us. But guess what?
Boom.
If he doesn't buy it from us, he'll still play it on Game Pass just to keep access to it, and that will get them access to more games, and that will get more games being played by that person. So they're using this very smartly to their credit. I know it sucks as a gamer to not know exactly everything I mean, you know what you're getting from the game, but you don't know what things the game has to offer when it comes to the campaign. Honestly, it doesn't bother me because I think Gears of War campaigns are some of the best campaigns, some not better than others. But this is what I wanted, like, developers like Bungie to do. Like, they show so much of their freaking game at these reveals. It makes me like, okay, well, what the heck do I have to look forward to? That's why I think Shadowkeep is going to be one of the best DLCs they make, because they kept a lot of stuff under wraps for that DLC. The campaign, we really don't know nothing about, and I love that. And that's what it seems like they're doing with Gears of War. They're going to say, hey, jump in, $1, $15, however you got to pay for it. Experience this campaign, and once you experience this campaign, you're going to know why you want to have Xbox Game Pass, or in general, just buy the game. So they'll put more stuff out the closer we get to the game releasing next week, but it was more clear to me seeing the presentation that they showed that that's what they're leading into. Game Pass is a very, very real thing. They even stood up on the stage and did a presentation on it at GameStop, knowing that GameStop probably doesn't too much care about selling Game Pass, but it's a big marketing push for them, and they even did it on our stage, so it lets you know how important it is to them.
I got three questions. I
Okay,
have
hurry up.
condensed into one question. Okay.
All right, hurry up.
Did you see, and if you saw it, did you play Code Vein, Ghost Recon Breakpoint, or The Outer Worlds?
Outer Worlds did not play. Did see a new trailer for it. Looks amazing. It gives me more of a BioShock feel than Fallout. I think
Really?
Fallout is in nature what it is, but the BioShock feel to me came through in the trailer we saw.
Okay.
Ghost Recon, I think is going to be the sleeper game of this year.
Wow.
I think
that's what I'm talking about.
that game, I think they are taking from Gears of War, not Gears of War. I think they're taking what Division did well when it comes to the class systems, the building of your character out, the fact that you can take all of your gear from one game mode to another and have seamless progression throughout the game is an ingenious move. You don't have to worry about, if you play nothing but multiplayer, you can still take your multiplayer loadout and go into single player and still have the same character, same loadout, same everything. If you just play nothing but multiplayer and you want to go into, if you play single player, you can literally go into multiplayer or co-op and have the same character. Nothing changes. All your stuff goes from character to character, and you don't have to re-level or do anything else inside the game. I think that's freaking amazing. And I think the story that they're telling with the whole Ghost on Ghost or Ghost on X Ghost thing is very riveting. I think the campaign itself is going to be one of the best things they did. And the fact that they are leaning into the dark side of what Ghost Recon is pretty much a game seller for me, because the reason I didn't like Wildlands as much, is because I felt like it was way too cookie cutter. It was way too easy to play the game. Once you got the best stuff in the game, you really didn't feel like you were.
It wasn't a challenge
It
anymore.
wasn't a challenge in this game. Even when you do get the best stuff in the game, you still have challenges awaiting for you, just for the fact that if you take damage, you really feel that damage for a long time in the game. Even if you heal your character all up, say you get shot in the leg, you can still heal yourself up, but you're still walking around the environment like you got shot in the leg, and that can really hinder you when you're playing in a game like that and you're being attacked by the wolves all over the place. So I think that game is going to be the sleeper game that's coming out this year that a lot of people are going to play. And Covain, I played it. It's pretty goddamn good. If you are a fan of Darksiders and Bloodborne, you will love this game.
Nice.
I think overall, the biggest thing I can say is they really nailed the mechanics of making you feel like you are doing something impactful to the bosses in the game. It's not as fast as Sekiro, but it's not as slow as Bloodborne. Bloodborne isn't slow by any means, but it's like a happy medium between Sekiro and Bloodborne. It's which I think a lot of people are going to enjoy a lot, but it does home in on that side of Bloodborne where, you know, you get that extra life in return, like how Sekiro did. You know, it's like die, repeat, die again. As long as you keep your co-op partner alive in the game, they will bring you back to life. But if you lose that person, that's pretty much saying that, hey, if I don't revive my co-op teammate, if I die, I have to start over this fight, which is a nice little mechanic I think they put in the game compared to like how Sekiro has. If you die twice, you pretty much are done.
Yeah.
So I think they're leaning into that as another different way of doing it. But the weapons feel like they have weight behind it, which I really love in a game like that. Very fast pace. Enemy, I only played one of the enemies, and the enemy was very, very, it was very aggressive at points, but it really was, it played off too. So it seems like they did a little bit of tweaking to the AI to make them feel a little bit more differentiated from what they usually are. And it looks like they learned from the patterns that you do, just like you have to learn from their patterns. So just in the 25, 30-minute demo I played and then watching other people play it, everybody seemed like they were getting a different result from the boss as they were playing it. And I think that they are just leaning into that. But I thoroughly enjoyed playing that game, and I think it's going to be one of those games that it's going to still do well just because it's not as hard as something like Dark Souls, and it's going to speak to a wider audience of people that actually want to play the game.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm really high on Code Vein, and also we gotta get up for Ghost Recon. I got a squad that we always play Ghost Recon, and we played through Wildlands, and like we thought it got super easy like a quarter of the way through because we just basically YouTube where are the best guns.
Wait.
And we just flew there and got
get one more question in, man.
Okay.
B Money, you got another question?
Oh no, I'm good, man.
You good? Slow-mo?
Yeah.
No, I'm good.
All right, let's let this man eat. I feel bad for him. Yeah. No, we do seriously, man. We appreciate that, but I feel bad. I know you're trying to get out there and get some dinner, man.
You guys are my peoples. I missed you, but I do want to say this before I leave. Shout out to the 270 people that joined the Twitter fam off one tweet yesterday.
I saw that.
One tweet, 260. So trust me, that just basically tells me that there's a lot of people out there hungry to know about Last of Us information. So I already know when that game does launch or when we get more information about it, I'll definitely be talking about it because those people didn't just subscribe to the channel or to the YouTube channel or Twitter just because they just did it up the kind of their heart. They kind of want to know information about that. And it also lets me know that Sony just needs to hurry up and just talk about this freaking game because a tweet of a picture of Last of Us on a screen got over 1,000 likes and almost 500 retweets. So Sony, I need them to hurry up and come out and talk about this game because people are hungry. And that by itself proves it. And I am super excited. I wish I could tell you exactly what I saw, but I will tell you this. What I saw was pretty amazing. It was only a good 10 to 15 second slice of the game, but that 10 or 15 seconds did more than just showing a trailer, or not showing a trailer, but showing a screenshot. And
Wow.
it was, I loved it. I think everybody else will love it. And I'm hoping that these rumors are true, that in November at whatever event that they're going to do, they're actually going to show even more of that, because I think these leaks of February are probably a little bit accurate. And if it is, they need to start talking about this game more and more over the next month or so. So with that, guys, I love you. I'm about to go get something to eat. I'll be back home tomorrow, and today's my last day, so I'm spending it with my coworkers.
Awesome, man. Forte, dude, seriously, man. Mad love. We appreciate the time, man. Go enjoy some dinner, man. Go hang out with your fellow colleagues, man. Enjoy.
All right, guys. Y'all have a good night.
You too, man.
All
Take
right,
care.
see you, man. All right. That was Gaming Forte, who is at the GameStop conference. It's only for GameStop employees, managers, and regionals, and some of the higher ups. And he, wow, just gave us a lot of great information, as much as he could share, because he is under NDA, so he really couldn't get into a whole lot of specifics. But gave us a lot of insight into some of the games we're all looking forward to. Excited to hear that Gears 5 campaign is 15 to 20 hours, depending on the type of difficulty you play. So that was awesome. Slim, I was excited for Luigi, man. That was good to hear.
You were by yourself.
Someone was like, "No, sir, nobody wants to talk about Nintendo."
I mean, look, you know, I like my Nintendo Switch. I just don't care too much for the Nintendo first party stuff. I mean, I like the other second party stuff that they have exclusive. That's great. I love it. But yeah, first party, I'll pass on that.
So Slimo, we didn't get a chance to do this, man, but we talked about this in DM. We're gonna do something here on Brap called shit. What is it called now? Slomo says, God, dude, I fucking just had a brain fart there. Slomo says, and what's you might wonder what does that mean? What does Slomo says? So Slomo is actually pretty good at for most part. He's pretty good at guessing Metacritic scores for games. So Slomo, I wanted to do Astral Chain last week, but we didn't get a chance to do that.
Man, I'm so all for Astral Chain. Yeah, I said
Yeah, what did you say? Like 90?
It was an 88.
88's still damn good though, man.
Yeah. All right, so I will do Gears 5. Gears 5.
Gears 5.
Slow-mo says Gears 5 will have an 88 Metacritic.
Okay, that's fair. I could see that.
It will be right under a 90. And it will mostly get an 88 Metacritic because the campaign won't do enough new things.
All right. B, what do you think, man? If you had to throw out a prediction.
Well, for Gears, I think it's going to be 89 for Metacritic. I think there's going to be enough people who have played all the old games and feel like there's enough new stuff there. There's a lot of new game modes. This will be the longest campaign, so they'll get a couple extra points for that. But I think just because it is Gears and there's so many critics out there that I think are a little bit more critical of shooter games, I think it's going to hover right under a 90, so 89.
All right, I'm gonna be the outlier. I'm gonna go with 93.
Oh, you crazy?
That's a little high, man. That's a 93. Okay. I mean, I look. I'm not saying it's not impossible. I can see it happen. If the campaign, I think the score really does come down to the campaign. If the campaign is something that really breaks the mold, if it really does do a lot of new things that people haven't seen in Gears before, if the narrative is really great, has
what are all these
impactful cutscenes.
What are all these new things that people think that Gears is going to do that's going to take it over the top?
People think you're going to have like a hub and be able to make your choice of where you want to go in the world and travel, like will break that what's the word I'm looking for here? It will break that straight just mission design from the previous games, where it's just like you complete one mission, you get a cutscene, you go into the next mission. Like it will kind of break that where you can choose where you're going. Some people believe that's what's happening in this game when you see Kate using the like that contraption or whatever that she's sliding on ice with. So
Yeah, the
I don't know.
skiff. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't know if that necessarily means that that's that type of game just because we saw that.
Yeah.
I mean, wasn't there like a racing thing in Gears 4? Like, I mean,
I don't remember, man.
Yeah, but in
like
the
when
latest trailer, they showed that skiff multiple times, and it was in two different environments. One was it was just like straight ice with a blue sky, and then another time there was like a storm coming at them, and it
Yeah,
was
like a sandstorm. Yeah.
yeah. So it looked like, and then the way I mean, of course, you could tell that you were guiding it or controlling it because there was one part where you can actually see like there were like whoever was controlling it was turning left and right. But I mean, it looks like if that's two different instances, then possibly this is something that you can just travel from point to point with.
I think it's probably not more of a hub thing, not like God of War, but more maybe similar to like Uncharted, where like it gives you a landscape and you can kind of choose where you want to go, but it's not like, oh, you travel here and go to this different, world setting. Oh, okay. Finished up there, go to this different world setting. I think it's
Yeah.
gonna be more open, similar to how Uncharted is.
You're not gonna have these
Not
narrow
like God of War.
corridors.
Right.
Yeah. That was my only complaint. Be like and it worked. Look, that formula I think worked last console generation. I think for Gears, but my complaint before was that it was very much like that. That corridor based focus, like like level design, and then cutscene and then shooting gallery. You
Right.
know, and the one thing that Uncharted does well is that it borrows that same formula, that shooting gallery, where you cutscene shooting gallery, but how you get to that point is not as straightforward. Gives you that illusion that the world's a little more open than it actually really is, and that's kind of I think how Uncharted kind of breaks it up a little bit, and I hope Gears does that because that was kind of my complaint with Gears 4. That may I think worked. I think that worked for the 360 generation. But I think the way, some of the other games that are out now in terms of level design have kind of expanded upon that, do a better job. And I that's what I would hope to see would change. But we'll see.
I will say this: I need somebody to die in this game.
I want Marcus
Ain't,
Phoenix
ain't,
to die.
ain't nobody gonna die, man. They still got Coltrane running around and robots. Bear's still running around. Marcus still there. Like they ain't killing them off, man.
Marcus
I'm
Phoenix.
convinced.
Coltrane still look young, man.
I know.
Yeah, he does.
I don't understand.
Well, he does look young, and Marcus looks like a
Marcus
grandfather.
looks younger.
He looks
Marcus
younger.
He looks younger than he did in Gears 4. I don't know
Yeah,
what the hell they're doing.
Botox.
He look younger with more gray hair.
Yeah,
That's what they did.
I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't get that either.
I
ain't
also
die, man.
think Kate looks like that Rose chick now. The girl that's playing Batwoman.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
She looks like her now.
does.
She doesn't look like the Kate from Gears 4, which I mean, I think it's nitpicking. It's not that big a deal, but every time I see a trailer or something, it just pops in my mind. I'm like, she
Deduct
don't
3
look the same.
points.
Like did she get plastic surgery in between games or something? Like, why does she look different?
Yo,
But
Abacab72 says black don't crack.
that's right, man.
Oh,
Coltrane's still going, man. He like 50, 60 years old, looking like he's 30.
Then you look at Marcus. Marcus looks like he's about to croak. Like he's just like he's on his last days. He does. I tell you what, they need to kill Marcus Phoenix though. Just kill him.
Yeah, that's her name, Ruby Rose. She looks like Ruby Rose to me.
Hey,
Every time I see her, I see Ruby Rose.
hey,
Do
can
you
we?
guys think that Marcus' dad really is still alive?
Yes.
I thought that was Baird. Y'all think that's Marcus' dad?
Yeah.
That looks like Marcus's dad. He's in the thing. He's in the lab coat.
Yeah, but okay, like so when you guys played the
It's like
the technical alpha, right?
He looks way bigger than Baird.
Yeah, he looks bigger than Bear, and he looks old like a dirty old sack of balls. Slow-mo, say something, man.
What? Reading. I'm reading the chat. I'm trying to read what
Oh
what Native wrote.
no,
Look, yeah.
Abacabab says that's Baird.
Yeah,
I
I
thought it
think
was.
that's Baird as well. Because he's bald headed now.
Oh, maybe. Well, he looks like an old sack of nuts then.
I don't know. I gotta rewatch the trailer.
Look, yeah, I don't think that's his dad because Baird's got the I forgot the name of those robots that everyone hates, but Baird's like
Oh, the
controlling them.
D-bots.
Yeah, and then he had Dale going through this training thing. Like that's Baird's role now in the game. He is like the tech dude.
Yeah.
So like when I saw the lab coat, I was like, yeah, that's Baird.
What if
But then people were like, that's his dad. I'm like, I don't know.
Slow-mo, let me ask you something. What if Marcus Phoenix dies? What if they kill him? Like, would that?
Good.
How would you feel about that? Would you be excited, or would that kind of be a punch in the gut?
No, I mean it depends on how it's executed. If he just died, like if he dies, like like dude, I'm terrible with names today, but the guys that always die, the family, Carbine. If he dies like Carbine, that's an L. You can't kill Marcus Phoenix like that.
He can't, just can't get his head like chopped off or something like that. Yeah,
yeah. I'll never forget the first one. Like, 'cause I think that shocked everybody in Gears 1 when he's all like, "My guns jam,"
yeah,
like headshot right inside the head. I was in tears when that happened. I was like,
"Isn't he like? Is it in the new trailer now? Where he gets like his head chopped off or something?"
Yeah, I think they killed him in the trailer. Like his body got blown apart or something.
Yeah, his body got blown apart. He got like dismembered.
Like,
yeah.
how many Carbines are there? Good grief! But like you can't kill Marcus Phoenix like Carbine. But like he needs to have like an epic death, like the way, darn, what is his name?
Who are you talking about? You talking about what's his face? Whose wife died? Dominic.
Yeah, Dom. Yes.
Yeah, Dom. His wife.
Just terrible with names tonight. He has to go out the way Dom went out. Like when Dom went out, like the whole time you were just like, no, don't do it.
I want to see Marcus go out saving his son, and his son saying, "No, Dad, no," and his son's like, "Go now, go to the chopper."
and he turns into Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
No, I
Marcus,
don't want to see that.
Marcus.
That's what I don't want to happen.
I want to see Marcus say, "Go now, JD, run, JD." That's what I want to see, man. I mean, they got. I mean, look, guys, they got to kill him. I mean, I know that's like not a popular thing amongst Gears fans, but I feel like, come on, let's pass the torch.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, Marcus gotta go. I'm tired of seeing his old behind in the background, just being there. I'm like you used to be
save and stuff.
Yeah, it's like you can't really pass the torch if he's still around, because I always kind of feel like even in Gears 4, it was just kind of like, man, Marcus is there. Like there's nothing really bad that's about to happen. These guys, like Marcus is going to handle it because that's Marcus. But if he's out, if he gets killed by, like, say the next big antagonist, then now that kind of brings an emotional weight for the characters that are left, for them to like get revenge, to have a narrative for them to really go after that antagonist, that enemy, that villain, and take them out. I think that brings a stronger story than if this is another game, because no one died beside. I mean, look, that game is old. Look, besides Kate's family, no one died in Gears 4, and that's a character that was introduced and out in the same game. Someone else got to go, man. Baird, Coltrane, do the choo choo and die or something, like something. Like I need to have an emotional pull here, because I didn't really get that with the last campaign. So yeah, I think that's something that, like, if this is a campaign that really does that and have people talking about the story after it's done, like, oh my god, like people can't wait to do spoilers, like, oh my god, did you see what happened? That will get them to a 90.
So what if Kate dies?
Oh, that would suck. I think that would suck. I think that's too early for her to die.
I think a lot of journalists gonna be real mad.
I think it'll be like kill that old fart Marcus Phoenix, you know?
It was like so you make her the main
Yeah, and
character
then you
only
kill
to
her
kill her in the same game. Yeah, like, I think a lot of reviewers would be having some issues with that.
Yeah, we'll go to live chat real quick. Deep True 49 says Marcus is gonna die yelling, "Where's Azura? Where's the Azure cloud?" Oh my god. Irrelevant says Marcus Phoenix death scene. It's not a tumor. Yeah, that would be terrible if Kate died. That wouldn't make any sense. Like, you're gonna keep Marcus Phoenix, but I mean, you're gonna kill Kate and then keep Marcus Phoenix. Like, why
Well,
do you do that?
Marcus Phoenix ain't dying no time soon, so we might as well give up hope.
So why? But how much longer can he go? The guy's old.
He's gonna die in his sleep. He's gonna die of old age. they're gonna have it's gonna be a cut scene of them waking up in the in the middle of the night and like Marcus, let's
now,
go.
like they made him like essential to like this story now.
Tiny
You know what I
sleep.
mean? Like
Jesus.
he knows all the background about the original Queen and
Yeah.
you know what I mean, all the original background story. So that's the reason why he's the one like talking to Kate, really digging in, giving a reason to go back and figure out what the hell is going on. So ain't no way they killing him off.
Doesn't Marcus yell out? Does he go like Does he like grunt or something?
He does.
Yeah. So that's the cut.
You know what?
When that gun jams.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you who's about to die. Black dude about to go.
No, man. Cool.
He's out.
Coltrane?
No,
not Coltrane. No.
Dell?
Dell. Yeah, Dell. Dell's a goner, man.
He's so uninteresting, man. They don't give him no love.
Yeah. He's out of here, bro.
Yeah.
He's
Damn.
out.
DR Marty Spartan God says put Phil Spencer in the game and kill him and bring back Donnie D.
You want to know who was more interesting than Dell Jace in Gears 3?
Jace?
Yeah, he was.
He was voiced by Michael B. Jordan. Yeah, he was more interesting than Dell is. They need to bring him back. Where is he? He come back with his gray cornrows.
Oh my god, gray cornrows. Oh my goodness. Hey, Relative Data says Kate will be giving birth to JD's half swarm, half human baby. Yeah, that'd be interesting. That'd be a plot twister.
Oh my gosh. Some of you guys, I'm glad, aren't writing this story. Good grief.
Cue back.
Nigga, that's a terrible idea.
Yeah, that is interesting. Hey, what's up, Luca? Luca wants to know, what is Enrique using to record the show, that is? We are using... Hey, by the way, guys, what do you think of the new overlay?
Oh, this is awesome, man.
Yeah, you like it?
Is great, man. Yeah.
This is great. We should keep it like this. That's just my opinion. You can do what you want, but I think this is good.
All right, so we got slow-mo and B-Money's thumb up here. A thumb of approval. So, Luca, we big shout out to Graphic God. Jay actually helped me put together this overlay, and we're actually using, believe it or not, we're using Hangouts. So, and streaming through OBS. So basically what we're doing is a window capture of the Hangouts chat with the overlay of the BRAP logo, and everyone's icon pops up when we chat. So I think I like this quality better, I think, than Discord, guys. I don't know about you guys, but I think it's working much better.
Yeah, this is and it has much less issues with Hangouts than Discord. So yeah,
definitely.
My bad. Yeah, I cut you off, man.
No, you good, man. I was just saying, we should roll with this. This works.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, definitely. I gotta get a new icon though. I gotta get something a little better. Because I don't like the one I have. So, oh shit, what was I gonna say now? Oh, you know what, guys? Before
I got an idea for an icon.
Oh, what's that? Go ahead.
It is, and if you need someone to do that, I know Gregor Von Doom, who's in the chat. Gregor does great icons. He did Luke. He's done multiple ones of Lucas. He's done some for Forte.
Okay.
Have Gregor do an icon of you doing what what's it called in Death Stranding is doing, just peeing and creating mushrooms.
Okay, I don't want to. Oh my god. Yeah, I don't know about that slow mo. That's a little aggressive,
I mean,
man.
it like and have it just kind of like the image is the back of you, not like you got your
Oh, it's
thing out and
like the old
and just
school
peeing all over, but just like the
pickup
back
in
of
the
you
car.
and you peeing and this mushroom just growing. Yeah, I think that'll work, man.
Oh my. Okay. Yeah. So all right. Oh my god. All right, guys. I want to get to the last topic of the evening. Something that I think we talked about. Actually, I put this tweet out and got some very interesting responses. Nintendo Switch. Now we know we talked up Fire Emblem Three Houses a lot on the show. We have talked about Astral Chain, which, like Slomo mentioned earlier, is Metacritic at 88 right now.
Mm-hmm.
Um, if you missed it earlier, Forte was talking about Luigi's Mansion 3, said it was fire. And Matt Piscatella actually tweeted something out earlier this evening. I don't know if you guys caught this. I thought this was actually really interesting as it relates to Nintendo. Um, so Matt tweeted out on a share basis, only 6% of physical console releases, talking about games, physical console releases in 2016 happened on Nintendo platforms. This year, that share number is 34%. Retail should be allocating more space to Nintendo this holiday season to take advantage of this increase in market presence. And I've always said, we've talked about this, guys, games, push systems, exclusives, push systems. And look, I got to say, I think Nintendo's had one hell of a year. And it's getting even better, and they keep just dropping bangers. And again, I asked this question on Twitter: does Nintendo have the best exclusives right now? And I don't know about you guys, but I'm kind of leaning towards yes right now because of the amount of content that seems to drop every month. That is exclusive content. That is really good content, and these games sell like gangbusters. It seems like 3 million, 4 million in like a month, uh, sometimes in a week or two. And with Astral Chain coming out, we have Link's Awakening coming out next month. We have, you got to believe Link's Awakening is going to be another good exclusive from Nintendo. Then we have Luigi's Mansion 3. I'm probably missing out a bunch of other stuff because I know there's other games coming out.
Pokemon.
Pokemon.
Yeah, man, that's gonna
That's
sell like crazy.
that's the juggernaut of the holiday season right there.
Yeah, you're right. So let me ask you. I'll go to you first, B Money. What do you think, man? Is Nintendo, are they ruling the roost right now with exclusives? Is the Switch the best platform for exclusive content right now?
So y'all might not remember this, but I called this out like late last year that Nintendo was gonna have the best exclusives going into 2019. And I think going into 2020, they're probably gonna have the best exclusives as well. Just because like a lot of stuff that we're looking forward to in 2020 is big third party stuff. But when you really start to look at the exclusive content, Nintendo's got it. And it's not all coming from the first party, what I mean, their first party stuff. They got a lot of second party partnerships that have really worked out for them. And I think it's going to continue. They still have the Persona team working on Shin Megami Tensei. They still got Bayonetta coming. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know where the hell Astral Chain, fell out of the sky, from, but they set Bayonetta 3 to the side and they gave us this game. And we still have Bayonetta 3 on the back burner.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, Metroid is coming eventually. You know what I mean? I would assume that would be, sometime next year, the big holiday game. You know what I mean? We got the new Breath of the Wild coming. You know what I mean? So Nintendo is really cooking up some stuff to keep people on their platform. They just got to continue rolling. And, if the Switch Pro is, something to believe and that it's actually going to come out and be a worthy upgrade, then I think they're just going to keep the ball rolling and exclusive content will take them to the promised land.
Yeah, dude, I agree, and I actually do remember you saying that, B Money, that you thought that they were going to have an amazing lineup in 2019, and you're right. Where did Astral Chain come from? I mean, I remember hearing about it when they unveiled it at one of their Nintendo Directs, but I
And
don't
that
think
was
we.
this year. That was earlier this year.
Yeah.
They announced, show the game, and then now it's coming out all in the same year.
Yeah.
And they can do that because they have so many exclusives coming that they can go hit you with a surprise game out of nowhere. Some of these other platforms can't do that because they don't have enough content to really be holding back stuff. And I'm not saying naming names, I'm just saying. But yeah, to answer the question, absolutely. Nintendo has the best exclusives this year. They've owned this summer. And I know, like, yeah, people say, oh, it's the summer. Now a lot of games coming out in the summer. Nintendo got so many games, they had to put games out in the summer just so that their games aren't cannibalizing each other. That's how many games they had coming out this year. It's crazy. Fire Emblem, which I'm playing right now, fire. Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, great game. I wish Fire Emblem didn't come out a week after because I haven't played Ultimate Alliance 3 since. And Astral Chain's coming in a couple of days. So 3 games that their competitors don't have and literally did not have any kind of answer to. I don't see, like, this Fire Emblem game. There's not a single exclusive that I've played this year so far on Xbox or PlayStation that really compares to it. And I am a RPG head, so like that's my preference. But then you also got Ultimate Alliance 3, and you got Astral Chain coming. Like, really, like only game I think that really is going to compare on the exclusive level is probably Gears 5. So yeah, Nintendo's doing their thing, and they need to. They had to. If you think about it, considering how Wii U was received, and then they come out with the Switch, and the Switch has been such a huge success at selling hardware and software, that knowing what's coming right around the corner with PS5 and Scarlet, yeah, they gotta keep dropping bangers. They can't take their foot off the pedal because they can't let up and allow Sony and Microsoft to kind of get any chance. I'm not saying any chance, because I do believe next year when those new systems drop, it will be the last time Nintendo wins an NPD for a while, I think. But you got the advantage right now. Take it. And I think they're going to own every NPD from now until November 2020.
Yeah.
Believe that.
Yeah, I agree, man. And they got Nino Kuni, Wrath of the White Witch. That's coming out in September. They're getting Ori, September.
Yeah, so first Ori.
Yeah, first Ori. So it's not. I mean, like just even outside of exclusives. I mean, this fucking I mean, they're getting a lot of support, which obviously they didn't have last console generation. What else coming? Dragon Quest 11.
Yep.
That's coming out in September. I mean, I'm looking at this list, right, B? In September, there's probably 4 or 5 games I could buy for the Switch. Easily. I mean, that's insane.
Keeping that quality content coming. And the good thing about some of those games is that the art direction and the art style doesn't hinder, your experience totally, on the Switch, like, some of these other big budget games would, who's, that's using Unreal Engine 4 and then stuff like that. So, they can get a Dragon Quest game off, and still have it play well. And, that being one of the bigger RPGs that came out, you got Ni no Kuni, based on the art style, which, a lot of people are looking forward to that game. So, I think, just because they have a handheld, it doesn't, necessarily lock them out of every game, that's coming from a third party publisher. So I think they just continue to work with, the Japanese developers and keep getting those games that work well on a Switch, and they'll be all right.
Yeah. Have you guys seen the early impressions from people who've had a chance to play with the Nintendo Switch Lite?
Yeah, I've heard it's
a lot of people are really excited about it.
Yeah, very positive.
A lot of positive. I have yet to see a single negative response. People saying the actual D-pad the real D-pad is really good. That is the controls are really responsive. People are really liking it. I mean, hey, I might have to. I might have to see if my son wants to.
Yeah.
Which one do you want, son?
Yeah, right. Hey guys, I want to. This is an interesting question. One bad mother. I actually think this is a really good question. One bad mother in the live chat says, "When Microsoft or Sony get away with so many cartoony exclusives, I feel those are less expensive to make." What do you guys think?
I don't necessarily agree with that because the expense of a game doesn't necessarily always come with the visual. And if you look at game engines are visuals, their sound, and their logic. And depending on the kind of game that you're making, you really have to worry about how much memory that you have available to work with. So if a game's really cartoony but it's long, if a game has a anime like art style like Fire Emblem, but I'm currently 120 hours into Fire Emblem, like is that I think that's a great value there, regardless of the art style. This is 100 and like I'm still playing this game, So does that really matter? And it comes to expenses. If you're making a game that's that long, you're going to have people working a lot of hours and a lot of time to create all that content. The just calling it expenses just based off of the visuals it's just not enough.
B, what do you think, man?
Yeah, because I agree with Slow Mo. Because even when you have games that have the greatest graphics, or Order 1886, for example, I mean there wasn't a lot of great content there. So just because the game looks amazing, doesn't mean it's going to be a great game. The art style doesn't change how great the game is going to be. So, I think Sony has gotten away with having anime style games, and I think Microsoft could do it too if they chose to go in that direction, and people could still enjoy the game.
Yeah.
Like Ori is impressive, but it's not like a fake melting game or anything like that. And people really enjoy that game. Cuphead had a totally different art style with its old school cartoon vibe, and people really enjoyed that too. So it just depends on the type of game it is and the quality that the game delivers. Art style, I think just it's not that big a deal. I think if you deliver a quality experience, people can go either way on art style.
Yeah, I agree with that, man. I think the games are good. I think the art side is irrelevant. I do see kind of his point though, but I also think that because Microsoft and Sony have focused on more realistic type of games, and like Nintendo hasn't, right? They've kind of stayed in their lane, but they're good at that, right? They're good at that. I kind of see his point. Maybe if like Microsoft transitioned and started doing more like Nintendo like exclusives, people would probably comment about it because that's not what they've traditionally done. So I kind of get that perspective, but I also don't think that Nintendo games are so much more cheaper because they're not using realistic visuals per se. Um, but in fairness, too, the Switch is getting more of those realistic games, and like The Witcher's coming. They got Doom. They have Skyrim. Again, not first party Nintendo, but these are third party titles that you wouldn't have seen, on the Wii U last console gen. So OBM says realism is expensive.
See, it's not really that. It's the fact that the Switch hardware can't handle some of the like ultra realistic visuals that you will see on your PlayStation and your Xbox. The hardware can't do it. So yeah, they have to go a different route. Like take Astral Chain for example. Astral Chain has a very anime art kind of art direction, art style. It's cell shaded. It's done that way on purpose in order for it to be able to work on the Nintendo Switch. And yet also they knowing what they had to do to make it work, they also made it look good. That doesn't mean like every game doesn't have to be have like photorealistic visuals. And to talk about D-Truth's comment when he said, what did he say? Let me go back up here. He said something about oh, so you must be excited for Battletoads, Slow Mo.
I saw that was pretty funny.
I said,
No,
now,
Battletoads in the garbage, man.
yeah. I'm not down for that. I said, anime art style. I didn't say stick figures like something my son made. Okay, like come on now. Battletoads looks like hot garbage, dumpster juice is what it
Yeah,
looks like.
a bunch of third graders made that game, man.
Exactly. I'm not in for that. But yeah, budget. Like take Persona 5. I don't think that was a cheap game to make.
No, I don't think so
But
either. I mean,
the
they may.
game looks
Again,
amazing.
I do see his point. I mean, there may be some technology, like when you talking about like motion cap, mocap, or what is it that Gears uses?
Gears uses performance cap,
Yeah. So I mean, I'm sure
which
some
is
of that
a higher
probably.
level of
Isn't
mocap.
Hellblade on the Switch?
Yes,
Yes.
it is.
Okay, so things like that can be done. It's just based on the scale and how they're done.
That's true.
Yeah.
Because that Hellblade used that same sort of technology.
Yeah. Although I'm not sure. I don't think Ninja Theory actually did the port to the Switch, and I'm not sure. I've never played it on the Switch, so I'm fairly certain it isn't up to the level of like graphical fidelity.
No, probably not.
But I haven't seen it or played it to see how it performs on the Switch. But yeah, I mean that was using Unreal Engine 4 on PlayStation and Xbox, and they use performance cap for the character Senua and her facial expressions and everything, which is performance cap is not cheap.
No,
it's Hollywood level mocap is what you would see and say something like, I'm terrible with names tonight.
Toy Story,
Avatar.
Oh, Avatar. Well, I don't watch the Toy Story.
Toy Story, but no, like when you see like these Hollywood movies where they are using a cat, they got what you would thought would say mocap, a actual actor, and then do all the animation over that. No, that's performance cap. It's a whole nother level. You can tell the difference when, because mocap is, you will see like these black dots all over somebody's face, whereas performance cap is like a helmet. It's like a helmet that goes on their head and like literally maps their entire face, their facial expressions. It's way more accurate, and it gets like the body, the suit is way more accurate for like the body movements and stuff. It's way more expensive.
Gotcha. All right. Yeah. All right, gentlemen. Well, you know what? We are going to go ahead and wrap up this evening's podcast. Big shout out to Jay Fonzarelli, who hung out with us for about an hour. It's been a while since we had him on, so thank you again, Jay Fonz, for joining the panel today. And big shout out to Forte again. He again is at the GameStop conference. Shared a lot of great insight and information with us. Couldn't get a lot of detail on some other things because he's under NDA, but hey, we still appreciate all the stuff he could share, and appreciate him taking time to come by and hang out with us. So, on that note, we are done, gentlemen. B Money, Slow-Mo, thank you guys again. It's always a pleasure. Slow-Mo, let people know where they can find those videos of yours, man.
Yo, you can find my videos on my YouTube channel. I have started a YouTube channel, started it like late June. I've got probably about a good 20, 25 videos up. Dropped another one today. The one I did today was talking about how people need to stop saying Disintegration is like Halo, or stop comparing the game to Halo. Because when you look at the game, it don't look anything like Halo or play anything like Halo. And it's not a knock against the game, but like watch the video, I'll get into it. But yeah, I'm dropping pretty much like 1 or 2 videos a week. Just stuff I like to talk about, games I like to play, and keeping up with some really, I think, hot indie games that people aren't really talking about. So come check me out.
No, you know what, Slow-Mo, I like that you do that because it's something that I'm not aware of anyone I follow, at least the podcast that I follow, that many people are doing, man. So that's awesome that you're doing that because I know that I've watched your channel and gotten some exposure to games that I wouldn't have otherwise. So keep doing your thing, man. It's awesome.
Yeah,
Um,
thank you. That's the goal. That's the goal to try to, you know, show people some games they may actually end up liking that just don't get a lot of publicity because the developer is brand new or the publisher is a nobody. So yeah.
Yeah, no doubt, man. And everyone in the live chat, please, if you haven't done so already, subscribe to Slow Mo's channel. It's Slow Mo Backslap on YouTube. Please give the man some love. And B Money, man, always a pleasure talking some video games. B, did you pick up Control, by the way?
I haven't picked it up because I'm actually catching the flight in a couple hours, so
Oh, okay.
it was kind of pointless for me to pick it up. But I'll be back next week on the 5th, so I'll pick it up. I'm gonna pick up Astro Chain because I'm taking my Switch with me.
Nice.
Right.
So I'll have that when it drops on 30th. But it's kind of pointless for me to pick up Control now because I won't be at home to play it. But I'm definitely gonna get it.
Gotcha.
Which platform you getting it on?
I'm probably gonna get it on PlayStation just because of the extra content.
Do you
Yeah,
have
that's
the
what I did.
Do you have the Pro? Yeah, the
I
PS4
do.
Pro. Okay, yeah, you're
Yeah.
good. Yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah.
don't get it on like vanilla or base Xbox or PlayStation. Apparently, it's not good on either of those consoles.
Yeah, don't do what Slow Mo did.
Yeah,
Yeah, apparently the base PlayStation 4 is the worst performing one when it comes to frame rates. I haven't played it
Really?
yet, and I'm probably not going to play it tonight because I think the 4th episode of Life is Strange 2 came out, and I'm probably going to play that tonight and go to sleep. But I kind of want to get a refund and get the One X version, but I'm fairly certain Sony's going to tell me to go fuck myself. So
As long as you haven't had like any crazy refunds before, you should be good.
yeah, I mean, I've never refunded anything with Sony before.
They might give
I
you
haven't
one,
Okay.
even
man.
played the game at all. Like I think I may have did the pre-download just
Yeah.
because I pre-ordered it like last week.
You should ask
So
them.
yeah, I'm gonna see what's up. I'm gonna check
Yeah.
in tomorrow. I'm not going to touch it because I don't want them to
Yeah.
say you already played it. Sorry,
Yeah.
You're shit out of luck, sir.
you're right. So I haven't touched it yet. We'll see what happens. I'd like to get a refund and buy it on the One X. But if they don't, it's fine. I'll play it on the PlayStation. It's no big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm hearing good things about it, so I'm excited to jump in there.
You
Yeah,
didn't hear me mention this earlier, B, when I was talking when Jay Fonzarelli and I were talking about this game. I said to him, I said it's probably Remedy's best game that I've ever played.
Really?
Yep.
Really?
Yes.
So you like it better than Quantum Break?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely. Hands down. Hey, real quick, I gotta pay the bills. Big shout out to Ishan Rashid with the $2 super chat. Thank you, sir. He says, "What do you think of rumors of Sony buying Ready at Dawn?"
I think they should, and I think that they should bring back the order, make it a multiplayer game, like it was intended to be, and I think that allows them to continue to work on the VR stuff and kind of really flesh out that developer and maybe make it a 2-team developer. So I hope it happens because I really want another Order game, and I think they could really flesh out that story and really build a world around it. And some of the VR stuff that they were working on looks kind of interesting. So want to see what they can do with it.
Yeah. Hey, B, go ahead, Slomo.
I was going to say, I think this time next year we would know that Ready at Dawn has been purchased by either Sony or Microsoft. I think there have been some things that kind of show that maybe they may be open to Microsoft. No, kind of seeing how some things I've seen with like their developers talking with Obsidian really almost kind of doing a free promotion sale for of being under Microsoft, under Xbox Game Studios, and still having total freedom and their culture not being affected whatsoever. But if I would say who should purchase them and what would be best for the developer as well as us gamers, I think Sony would be the better get for them. I think Ready at Dawn has a lot of potential, but they haven't really. I've yet to play a game of theirs that I think really kind of puts it all together. The Order 1886 was okay. but I think it needed a lot of work. And I think the way Xbox Game Studios is managing their studios, they're not going to they're going to get the money and the budget they need to do their games, but they're not going to get the guidance they need to really take their games to the next level.
Yeah.
And I think that's what Sony can do. Sony has a lot better quality assurance with their games than Microsoft does, and I think that would probably be the best bet.
Hey, real quick, guys.
And I
go ahead.
think the reason that the order was just okay was because it had been pushed back, and then paperwork was already signed. Like, yo, and Sony was like, "Give us the game. Like, we got to put the game out. Can't wait any longer." Like, their lineup was already kind of shitty at the beginning of the generation anyway, and they were just like, "Yo, give us the game now.
Give us the game." Yeah.
And it came out, and of course it bombed. You know, I mean, a lot of people liked it once they played it, but you know, didn't feel like it was really worth the $60 price tag that was on it.
That's very true. It was too short.
Yeah.
Hey guys, real quick,
it still holds up even today visually, and the story was very interesting to me. I really liked the story.
Yeah. Hey guys, I got to pay the bills real quick. Relevant Native with the $2 super chat. Thank you, sir. Says Enrique said he was refunding this after the show. Oh my god. Yo, Irrelevant is a trip, man. He is funny. I think I don't know if you were here when we were talking about Remedy being acquired by Sony. What do you guys think about that, real quick? I mean, Jay Fonz and I talked about it. There is a lot of references to Sony in this game, even early on in the game. And there's that, that thank you letter from Remedy to Guerrilla saying, "Hey, thank you for helping us with development of the game." And Slomo, as you pointed out, the PlayStation
first party like the majority of their first party developers on social media have been congratulating them on their game.
And then so was the PlayStation Jobs or something on Twitter.
Yeah,
was very much referencing the Control.
Yeah, they were using Control in their marketing in their tweets towards trying to get new talent in. Not saying that they were like trying to hire people for Remedy, but you would see a tweet and it will be like, "We're looking for, let's say a C++ programmer," and then you will see a picture or an JPEG of Control, and it's just like,
yeah,
huh? Like, well, why wouldn't that be Days Gone, or or Death Stranding? One of your exclusives is Control. I thought that was very interesting.
Yeah. Real quick, big shout out to Sean Rashid again with the $2 super chat. Thank you, sir. He says, if the rumors are true, can we call it the Goat Station 5? We might call it that if the rumors are true. And DR Money Sparngut says Kojima's in control. Like he said, literally, like he's so.
Yeah, he's a character in control.
If Kojima's in control, if Guerrilla has helped Remedy with some of the development of this game, and we know how Sony and their first party studios tend to interact with each other.
Yeah, they're very helpful to one another.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, guys. Where there's smoke, there's fire, maybe.
It could be interesting. I think I think similar to a lot of these other like mid-tier developers, like Remedy has had some really good games, but since Max Payne 2, like they haven't had like a great game. And I think, if they were to kind of go under Sony's wing, they could, collaborate with all the other developers there and really, hone in, what they do best, and they could come out with great games that people like really look forward to. So I think it'd be interesting if they were to go that route. Or they could just, sign like a second party, partnership where, they have a couple of exclusive games or something like that. So we'll just have to see how it unfolds.
Yeah, no, it's going to be interesting, man. I tell you what, if this happens, the announcement takes place during Microsoft's XO 2019 London, which is what, November?
I think it is
November.
Yeah, that's when I was.
And you gotta think that Sean Layden did say, like, I want to say it was early this year, late last year, how they were gonna start coming out with like less games, but like more.
More AAA, big
Yeah,
budget
like
stuff.
yeah, bigger budget, more AAA. So like when you look at some of the developers that came out with games this generation, a lot of them only came out with 2 games. So if you add, some talent like Remedy and talent like Insomniac and Ready at Dawn, that allows you to really focus on just like one game, maybe per generation, but it'll be the best of the best. You know what I mean? So yeah, I just looking back at some of those old statements, I think they kind of make sense too.
Yeah.
I would say when it comes to Remedy, it's similar to Ready at Dawn to me. I think they have great ideas, and their stories are always very original and out of the box. But again, they never seem to always put it together. I think their engine is problematic. They made some improvements to it since Quantum Break, but that Torchlight engine, like this game is super buggy and the frame rate is not good. I think if they went under Sony's wing,
Decima engine?
Yeah, I was just about to say that. Decima engine. Problem solved. Like you don't have to worry about take that Torchlight engine and kick that crap to the curb. You got
trash.
Decima now. You now worry about now you can focus on making a great story, and then now you can probably include even more content because now you have an engine that's being collaborated on by Kojima, by Guerrilla Games, by Supermassive, by so many different developers who have worked with Sony and have improved upon it and iterated on it. At this point, yeah, why not?
Yeah, and real quick.
Okay, go ahead.
Real quick, I want to go to live chat. Sean Rasheed says, Enrique Blue Point happening, but I could see Housemark. Because I know Housemark was actually, if I'm not mistaken, Housemark's always done those. I forget. Always done like those
arcade twin stick shooters.
Twin stick shooters.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't really believe that rumor. I feel like that's something that someone just came up with because all of those studios already work with Sony.
But Housemark is getting away from those twin stick shooters, which is what they excelled at because for financial reasons. They weren't making enough money, and when I hear stuff like that, and I hear the rising cost of development, and you see these smaller studios, I could see Housemark saying, "Hey, you know what, guys, we're gonna go with Sony. They're gonna fund projects for us. We know they have this big installed base. Same for Remedy and Ready at Dawn. I know that when Remedy started development of Control, which is right around when they were still working on Quantum Break, they had still not secured funding for that game. And Sam Lake has said, "Look, we wanted to work on Alan Wake 2, couldn't get that done. Couldn't get funding for that." So, Kojima wouldn't surprise me. But if this is true, Housemark, Remedy, Ready at Dawn, on top of what they have, holy shit. That's pretty impressive.
And it's, all those might not be likely, but all those wouldn't be things I would put past Sony doing.
Yeah, you wouldn't be surprised.
To be totally honest.
Yeah.
Although, I mean, I don't know how. See, they're in a very different position than Xbox was. Xbox has purchased 7, 8 studios in the past year, but they needed to. They really, really needed to. And I think Sony is doing this for 2 reasons. One, because if you don't want to lose a developer that makes games for you to the competition, so you kind of protect them from that. But then it's not really just protecting them from Xbox; it could be protecting them from Google, because Google has Microsoft money, and they have an even bigger need for first-party studios for Stadia. So they're looking at it from a 2-pronged approach. We got 2 competitors that could be potentially taking these games away from us, completely. Why not? If you want to make it an arms race, we can do that.
Slim, I didn't even think about Google.
That's what I said.
Yeah,
that's what I said. this is the thing that everybody wanted the past couple years. Is everybody started buying up studios, and you know now you got to pick and choose where you're gonna get your content. Similar to what we're doing now with Netflix and Hulu and Disney Plus, we're gonna be paying all these subscriptions. We're gonna be doing the same thing.
But you know what? To your point, B Money. If the model, the industry is heading that direction anyway, right? Towards like a subscription based service, Netflix type service,
Right.
then it makes total sense that Sony is doing this, because then they need to beef up the exclusive content they can offer to somebody who might be trying to subscribe to whatever they're going to call it, like PlayStation, I don't know, whatever,
It'll be PlayStation now. It'll just
or PlayStation
evolve
now,
from
yeah,
whatever it is. Yeah.
yeah. But that makes total sense that they do that then, because like Netflix, they got to keep, people don't. I mean, none of us subscribe to Netflix because we want to watch reruns of The Office or anything like that, or maybe some people
Hey,
do.
some people was pretty mad when the
Yeah.
Office got taken off.
That's true. But most of us are like, we're watching Netflix because we want to see Stranger Things. We want to see God, what else is on Netflix? I can't even think now. I'm forgetting
You
names
mean
now.
from their original content?
Yeah, the original content.
13 Reasons Why just
Oh
came out.
gosh, yeah, that crap. I'm sorry, I can't stand.
I haven't seen that.
Yeah.
But look,
That's my wife's show. That's what we're watching on the plane.
but look at what Disney's done. I mean, they took the Marvel stuff off Netflix. They're putting, maybe potentially
Yeah,
putting it back.
that Daredevil. I'm looking forward to that.
Somebody said that was a hoax. That wasn't actually a true thing.
Yeah, there's a cooling off period on Daredevil, all the characters that were in Netflix.
Yeah.
So Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Iron Fist, Luke Cage. There's a cooling off period that was in the contract. So from the moment, I think it's like 2 years from the moment that they canceled the show, Marvel
Okay.
can't do anything with it. So it's going to be like, I mean, they did all that earlier this year. So we're looking at like 2021 before they could actually put anything out. Now they could go ahead and like get started on production and like try to get some of those actors back, but I think they may be replacing some of them, because I already know the actress who did Jessica Jones said she wasn't trying to do it again. But yeah, it's like a 2-year period of cool off where they can't just drop the Netflix shows and then immediately, as soon as Disney Plus starts, it's like, hey, we're back with
We're
Luke
back.
Cage season 3.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, no doubt. All right, gentlemen, we need to wrap up. But hey, a big shout out to everyone in the live chat, guys. Thanks for stopping by to hang out with us again. Appreciate all the super chats. Appreciate the conversation. Hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. Hit that bell notification so you get notified anytime we go on live. I'll probably do another streaming. Control again. I did yesterday for about 2 hours. And probably do another stream maybe tomorrow or Friday, I think, whenever I have time. But on that note, we are out. Everyone, please enjoy the rest of the evening. Thank you again for stopping by. We'll see you guys next Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're out. Peace.
Peace.
Man, I love that new
Peace.
overlay. That does look good. Overlay looks nice.